Welcome to Virtual Lab webinar on the behalf of Virtual Lab. I heartily welcome Sudhar, our nodal coordinator, and all the faculty members and the students who are attending this webinar or Virtual Lab. So first of all, I would like to tell you that our webinar is divided into three parts. In first part, I will give you a detailed introduction about Virtual Lab. Then we will discuss that how a user can access these virtual labs from a remote place and perform the experiment on a virtual platform. And at the end, we will discuss how a user can become a part of our team, become a developer, and develop their own virtual lab and contribute it in our project. So please keep your pen and copy with you. I will going to tell you some links on which you just click and update yourself. So just a second, I am going to share my screen with you. So welcome to all in this webinar. As you all know that this webinar is on virtual lab. So the main objective of this webinar is to give you a brief introduction about virtual lab, and at the end of this session, each and everyone will understand that how we develop these experiments and how you can perform these experiments on virtual platform, and how you can become a developer in virtual lab project and do something for your nation to develop some virtual labs and donate to our project. So at the end of this webinar, each user get an idea about virtual lab. So the agenda of this webinar is to give you the objective of online labs, that what is the objective of virtual lab. Then we will discuss some features of online labs. Then we will discuss that when we have a physical labs, then why we need virtual labs. Then, as I told you earlier, we will demonstrate you some experiment and give you a detailed introduction that how you can access these virtual labs and perform the experiment on virtual platform. And at the end of this session, we will discuss the development activities. So first of all, what is virtual lab? See, virtual lab is a project initiated by the Ministry of Education, Government of India, under the mission National Mission on Education through Information and Communication Technology. When we read the term information and communication technology, it means internet only. So the Government of India wants to enhance the learning process of our user, of our student, with the help of internet. As you all know that in these days we are all connected through internet, and it will become a very powerful technology to share the resource and to share the knowledge. So Ministry of Education wants to use this technology to empower the students and to give the students an environment in which they will perform their experiments and get most of it. So virtual lab is to intend to develop a complete learning management system where the students can avail the various tools of learning, including additional web resource, video lectures, animated demonstration, and self-evaluation. So our Ministry of Education wants to develop a self-motivation and self-independent culture in our education system. The motivation behind virtual lab is that you all know that India is vastly diverse in terms of geography and in terms of financial condition. So to give a user a good lab facility and update that lab are always have a constant of money. Most of the colleges does not have the money or the capital to set up a particular lab in their college. So the user or the student of that particular institute or college are not able to perform the experiment because of these constant. And sometimes we also have, is my voice is audible to all of you? Please participant.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, audible.
Thank you.
Audible, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
मैंने अनम्यूट किया है। अच्छा ठीक है।
So sorry for the inconvenience. So as I told that sometimes we are not able to provide our students the costly equipments or sophisticated equipment because it always comes with a constant of money. So most of the colleges are not able to set up the costly labs or buying some costly equipments, or if they somehow buy the equipments or set up a costly labs, then the updation of that particular instrument become a very costly deal, because there are so many experiments which are very sophisticated and very high-end instruments. So the cost is very important factor of colleges, and the physical distance. As you all know that in situation like COVID-19, we are not able to go to our libraries or to our labs to perform the experiment because we are locked ourselves into our places. So the physical distance is also a problem when it comes to perform the experiment. So sometimes we have the instrument and we don't have the manpower who are capable to perform or to give the detailed introduction to our user, or that how a user can perform the experiment. So a manpower is also very important and crucial problem and a constant when we referring the problem of experimentation. So keep all that in mind. We will motivate ourselves to develop these virtual labs and try to provide our user a remote access to lab in various disciplines of science and engineering. It means we will try to provide our students an environment where he or she can perform the experiment virtually without going to their their physical lab. So it will help the students that the students are perform the experiment as many times as possible, because in virtual lab we are working on a simulation and each simulator is reset just by clicking on the button. So a student can learn at their own pace and their own place. It means that, as you all know, that when we go to our physical labs, we always have a time constant with us. In a limited time of period, we are forced to like just perform that experiment, or if you are not able to perform that experiment in a particular time period, you have to wait for the next turn to perform that single experiment. So it will decrease your curiosity about the experiment, and also it will become a very problematic to our students, that if a student miss their class of practical, then they have to wait a very long time. So in virtual lab, we will try to provide our virtual labs to our students 24 into 7 and free of cost. And we will try to, as I told you, that nowadays internet become a very powerful resource to share our knowledge and share our resources. So on virtual lab, we also provide a platform to our user to share their knowledge and equipments with the help of internet. So each and every students can benefit it from the source that we have. So when we develop and overcome all this problem and get all the objective of our virtual lab, then we will see that every user which comes on virtual lab have on the same page. It means everyone must be on the same page. Our objective that each and every students across the world can access the same data and perform the experiment without any limitation of their branch and of their background. So virtual lab also provide interdisciplinary environment to our user to enhance their learning process. So in virtual lab, we will provide a complete learning management system. It means if a user come on our website, then the user get all the necessary information regarding their particular subject in the form of e-books, interactive videos demonstration, animation, simulation, some links from Wikipedia, open content in internet, and online feedback and discuss forums. So it means a user are just to open our website to fulfill their curiosity about their related subject or related lab. The user have no requirement to go to some other website or to get the help or to get the help of their faculty to perform or to get something from our website. So we will provide a learning management system in which our user becomes self-dependent. So as I told you that our virtual lab is a part of a mission, and the mission entitled National Mission on Education through Information and Communication Technology. So whenever our government comes with a project in which they try to enhance the learning process of the student with the help of internet, it will first upload it on the portal named Sakshat. So a student wants to get updated that what's come from the government side, just click on the Sakshat portal and you will get all the links and all the details of the project which comes under this mission. And on Sakshat portal, you will get the links of undergraduate courses, postgraduate courses, school. Means with the help of internet, whatever we develop, whatever we try to give to our student is uploaded on Sakshat portal. So a student can update themselves by just clicking on the Sakshat portal, and you will get all the links like NPTEL, Sakshat. On Sakshat portal, you will get NPTEL lectures, spoken tutorials, and virtual labs. These are some few links. You will get some other links also But as you all know that in NPTEL there is a video lecture series which is developed and uploaded by the IIT professors and the expertise, in which you will find the video lecture of your related subject which comes in your curriculum. In virtual lab, a student can come and fulfill their requirement in terms of theory content. Here we also provide a link spoken tutorial on which the student can get certified and get training in all the open source software available nowadays in the market. So a student, if a student wants to learn any software which is open source, can just go to the spoken tutorial link and get the training, and at the end of that training he or she will be certified at the end of our government. So each and every student can benefit from these types of projects when he just hit to the Sakshat portal. And at the end, we have our virtual lab on which you can perform the experiment. So here are some features of our virtual labs. As I told you that our labs are available to you 24/7 throughout the year. It means that you can, if you want to perform an experiment at night or at the time when you want, you just access our virtual lab and perform that particular experiment 24/7 and free of cost. Then we have a common web interface. It means we will provide all the data on a single page. Whatever the branch, whatever the experiment, you will just click on our virtual lab and you will get all the necessary data, procedure, and all the related theory material on a single page by just clicking on the virtual lab link. Then to perform all the experiment, you just have to require a laptop or a PC with an internet connection. And you can just perform all the experiment which is uploaded on virtual lab. So you have no requirement to buy some other equipments or some other softwares. Then we developed our virtual labs in a manner that a student from a class 5th can able to perform the experiment of each and every experiment on our virtual lab. We developed our web end very user friendly and backend also. It means if a user wants to perform the experiment, then they don't require to download or to become expert in some language or in some software. User just perform the experiment and get all the data from our virtual lab website just by a simple click, and all the necessary requirements is activated and the experiment and the data appears in the front of our user 24/7 and free of cost. So our website is very user friendly and the content on our virtual lab is very high quality, because all these contents you will find to our virtual lab is developed by the IIT professors and quality checks 1,000 times before uploading to our portal. So a user can rely on the data which he gets from our virtual lab. Now, when we have our physical labs, then why we use virtual lab? So here are some of the factors like cost. As I told you earlier that typical physical lab requires a big amount of money to set up, but in virtual lab, as I told you that if you want to perform any experiment from our virtual lab, you just require a laptop or a PC with an internet connection. Nowadays we will working on that we provide our virtual labs on mobile phone also. So if a user have a mobile phone with internet connection, then he is able to perform all the experiments from our virtual lab. So the cost of the cost of the setting up a lab in a college is become almost zero if institute use our virtual labs. Then the availability. As I told you, our physical labs is always comes with a time limit or a time bound period, but in our virtual labs, the user are free and all the instruments which are available on the virtual labs is available 24 into 7 to our users. And because we are working on a simulator, then there is a no worry of wear and tear of that particular experiment. If a user can just make wrong connection in virtual lab, then it will not harm your instrument. But in real lab, if an instrument can perform the experiment and they just make some wrong connection, then it will damage the machine. So cost and availability is always be a constant in our physical labs, but this constant is overcome in our virtual lab. Then we have the experimentation. See, our virtual labs provide so many interactive way to perform the experiment. But in physical labs, we just perform the experiment in a very orthodox manner. So sometimes our user become very bored when they perform these experiments many times. But in virtual lab, we provide innovation and different ideas and provide so many interactive simulations and in a manner that a student can attract and entertain themselves, and at the same time they learn about their theory and about their practical what they want to perform. So we will provide a very safe option of for innovative experiment. And as I told you that in terms of user experience, we are not going to replace our physical labs, but in this condition like in COVID-19, if we are not able to go to our physical labs, then we provide the second best option. And if a user can perform these experiments before going to their physical labs, then obviously their error of percentage become very low, because a user already perform and get an idea that what he will going to perform in their physical lab. So it will also reduce the error of percentage in our physical labs. So here are the types of our virtual labs. We are divided our labs into three parts, or we develop three types of virtual labs. First are modeling or simulation based labs, in which we provide a simulator to our user which act like our real instrument, and a user can perform and get operate this simulator and perform the experiment and get the reading. Then we have our measurement based labs, in which we provide a calculator type instrument to our user, in which a user can input their data and get the desired output. And at the end, we have some remote triggered labs, in which a user can access a real hardware from their own place with the help of internet and perform the experiment on a real hardware on a real time basis and get a real time data. So here are the broad areas in which till now we developed so many labs, and we will try to cover up all the areas which are not listed till now. So we have the virtual labs in physical sciences, chemical sciences, mathematical sciences, computer science, electrical, electronics, mechanical, civil, biomedical, and energy studies and social science. And we will try day and night to develop the virtual labs in the areas which are not listed and cover up all the curriculum which are used in our universities in India or abroad. So till now we have these virtual labs in our portal. So here you can see the list of our participating institute, like IIT Roorkee, IIT Delhi, IIT Mumbai, IIT Guwahati and Hyderabad, and there are so many others NITs and triple ITs and some of private institutes, we are working together to achieve our goal that at someday we develop each and every experiment in a virtual environment and touch each and every curriculum and make our user free from the foundation of time, cost, and physical distance, so a user can fulfill their requirement at any time, anywhere. So here are the some participating institute who are working together to achieve our goal. Here you can see a screenshot of 3D environment in which which provide by us to our student, in which they just roam around and take the readings and perform the experiment from civil branch, which comes under like surveying, and perform the experiment on plane table L and get the reading and draw a graph. So here you can see that we provide a 3D environment and an instrument, and these instruments are working just like the real instrument, and you can just roam around and perform the experiment and get the desired result. So here are this is the screenshot of our simulation based lab, and here you can see the simulation based labs on electrical machine. Here you can see the simulation or a simulator of a machine which contains voltmeter, ammeter and wattmeter, on which user can just make the connection, perform the experiment, take the reading and draw the graph of that particular experiment. So the national impact of project, that till date we have more than 1,000 or approximate 1,100 nodal centers across the India, and approximately 1,600 workshop till date we organized in different colleges in India, and around 25 lakh of our 2 lakh of our participants attending these type of workshops and webinar, and approximately 35 lakh users operate these virtual labs on a daily basis. So this type of impact or this type of response make us very happy and motivate us to develop and to perform the new experiment for our students. So here you can see that the virtual lab analytical data since January 1st, 2020. Here you can see that in overall usage, our IIT Roorkee is the 4th one in the list of overall user, and on the lab wise, if we categorize our experiment, then you can see that in top 15 experiments we have 12 experiments which comes from team IIT Roorkee. So it makes us very motivated that our work and our hard work appreciated by our users, and our virtual experiments having the user like 40,000 across the India. So it always motivate us. And here you can see the IIT virtual lab analysis, that the users and the participant we have till October 17. So we just monitor our work activities on a daily basis. So how a user can perform these experiments? User just type the URL on their search box www.vlab.co.in, and he will find the website of virtual lab on their browser. Here you can see that information related to virtual lab is provided by us on a single page. You can perform and you can get all the necessary information on a single page. We will discuss it in 15 minutes in our hands-on session or in our demonstration session, that how you can access these labs at your end. So as I told you that at the end we will discuss the development activities. So we have a separate website on which we uploaded the experiment or virtual labs developed by our nodal centers with the help of their students and faculty members, and they uploaded on a separate website, and also we provide VLab Dev link on our main website virtual lab. So as you all know that India is a very large country, and it is not possible for us to develop each and every experiment from each and every college for each and every curriculum. So we involve our nodal center and our nodal centers students to become a part of our team. We will discuss the activities at the end. So here are our users that, as I told you, that we developed our virtual lab in a manner that a student from a school can also perform our experiment, and they motivate themselves that what they want to study in their higher study. So the colleges who are not able to set up the labs by any constant can also benefited from our virtual lab. So they provide the link to their students of virtual lab and motivate their students that they perform the experiment virtually on our virtual lab platform. And also, as I told you that nowadays we are all connected through internet, so we will provide a platform on which if we have a resource, then we share it to the users which somehow not able to get that resource. So all these types of users can benefit it from our virtual lab. So this is all from the introduction side, and now we will move on to our session in which we will demonstrate you some of our experiments, that how you can access and perform the experiment virtually. So till now, if you have any query related to virtual lab till now, please feel free to ask. I will try to resolve your query, and this is the contact details of our outreach team. If you have any query related to virtual lab till now, please feel free, or we move to our next session. Students, members, faculty members, please, if you have any query, please feel free. So let's move on to our next session. Hello, ma'am, please.
हाँ, इसमें जो है स्टूडेंट्स के लिए अगर मान लीजिए इनको कहीं पर एक्सपेरिमेंट सर्च करना हो तो किस तरीके से ये सर्च करें? मान लीजिए कोई स्पेसिफिक एक्सपेरिमेंट सर्च करना है तो
मैम
क्या वो डायरेक्ट सर्च हो जाएगा या किस तरीके से ये लोग सर्च करेंगे?
मैम बिल्कुल वो सर्च कर सकते हैं, हमने उसी में एक सर्च के लिए एक बटन दिया हुआ है वो। मैम हम आपको ये तो मैम अभी सिर्फ इंट्रोडक्शन सेशन था मैम। अभी मैम जो इसके बाद वाला सेशन है मैम, उसमें हम आपको पूरी डिटेल्स बताएंगे कि कैसे स्टूडेंट सर्च कर सकता है और कैसे मैम उसे परफॉर्म कर सकते हैं।
ओके ओके ठीक है,
करके बताएंगे आपको। ओके, थैंक यू मैम। सो आई वुड लाइक टू इनवाइट मिस्टर चेतन हु विल गिव यू द demonstration session. Please, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Amit sir, for this wonderful session. And I'm Chetan from Virtual Lab Electrical Engineering Department. And I'm going to give you the demonstration of some of the experiments from Virtual Lab in the field of electronics and communication engineering. So just give me a second. I'll share my screen. So as Amit sir told you that we have a common website www.vlab.co.in. So when you going to the any of the search engine like Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, Internet Explorer, or Opera, like that, just write www.vlab.co.in in the search box, and this web page will be open. And on this web page is divided into the three basic parts and contains all the information regarding the virtual labs. So in the first part, we have the objective, philosophy, and the silent features of the virtual lab. So you can check these things from here. And then we have the list of the broad areas. So in these broad areas, if you want to perform the experiment from any of the field and you just want to check on which field, which kind of the experiments are available, just go there and check that. And then we have the list of the participating institutes. So these are the basically backbone of this project. So these 12 institutes are just continuously develop some of the experiments and the labs and provide these labs from to here. And you can check the working of each and every institute from here also. And as I told you that we have another separate portal, the secondary website of development. So this is the link for that website, VLabs Dev portal. So on this VLab Dev portal, the newly developed experiment or the experiments which are developed by the help of the nodal centers and the students of the nodal center is initially uploaded on this particular platform. And after uploading on this platform, we have our quality analysis program, and we just ensure the quality of the experiment and the procedure. And if there are any changes of that particular experiment, then we can, after making this experiment uh, perfect, we just transfer this experiment from the development portal to our main portal. So basically, these two portals are similar, while the difference is that on one portal the quality assured experiments are available, while on the second the experiments are available which are under development and under observations. So for the first experiment, I'll give you the demonstration from electronics and engineering. So as you are from the electronics and communication engineering branch, just click on the electronics and communication, and these are the different labs which are available to use from this electronics and communication engineering. So you can open any of the lab and perform. So I'll choose the digital electronics lab from IIT Roorkee. So in this lab, we are just trying to make up the view similar to our physical lab. Like you have the lab you have your lab manuals available in your physical lab, then you have these kind of the activities is available, like list of the experiments. So we have each and every lab manual for each and every experiment. So I'll choose the first experiment, the verification and interpretation of truth table for the gates. And as you have the lab manual in your physical laboratory, and that lab manual contains the theory, the apparatus required, the objectives, the how to perform the experiment, what are the readings. So each and everything is available on that. So similarly, we are developing this page. So initially we have the aim, then we have a theory part. So in the theory part, we just include the complete theory of this particular experiment. So you can check this experiment theory from here, or you may revise the experiment theory or the topic theory. Then after the theory, we have the pre-test. So this pre-test is basically aims that you just get the basic idea about this particular experiment, and by giving some of the answers to the questions of MCQs, you can check out of these 5 questions how many are correct and wrong. So I'll just click at random and click on the submit. So nothing is correct here. And after that, we have the procedure. So for the first time user, if you are the first time user to perform any of the experiment on this particular lab, you just go to the procedure first. And in this particular procedure, we have the procedure for each and every simulation available in this particular experiment. So basically in this particular experiment, we have the 7 different simulators available with us. And on the basis of these simulators, we are working on this particular experiment. So as I click on the simulation, it will take me to the page of our main part of the experiment. from where I'm going to access the actual hardware of the experiment. So basically we have 7 different gates available. So I'll show you 2 to 3 gates from this particular experiment. So I'll click on the first AND gate, and in this AND gate, as I click on the AND gate, it will open me the experiment. And we have the 2 simulators available with us, the simulator 1 and the simulator 2. So I'll click on the simulator 2 first. So basically, we are just designing this lab by taking in the mind that user from class 11th to the higher education, anyone can use that, from the polytechnic student or the BTech engineer or the higher education student. So in this particular simulator, what's our idea is that you just give the input to a particular gate and check your concept by creating the truth table at your own. So for example, we know that for the AND gate, we have 2 inputs and 1 output, and for the AND gate, for the similar inputs, like both are high inputs. If you provide the high inputs, the output will high, and if any of the input is low, the output will low. So I have to give the input with the help of my keyboard. So I'll write 1 and 1. So I know that the output for this particular combination is 1, that is high, but I press 0 and click on the check button. So it shows me that the entered value is incorrect. So basically this is for your self evaluation, that what you have the knowledge about this particular gate, or you have the actual knowledge, or just to clear your concepts. So now I'll correct my answer. So that is for both the high inputs, the output is high. Just click on yes, and it shows that it is a correct option. So for the second input, like 1 and 0, so as this is for the 2 input gates, and we have the 4 combination for 1 1, 1 0, 0 1, and 0 0. So for 1 and 0, the output is 0. It shows correct. For 0 and 1, the output is again 0. And then for 0 and 0, the output is again 0. So basically this experiment is made to just clarify my truth table, as I'm thinking what I'm thinking is correct or wrong. And after that, and also you have the instruction box available here. If you are the first time user and you just want to perform this experiment, just go to the instruction box and follow the steps and perform the experiment. Now just move to the simulator 1 page, and basically the simulator 1 page is just a replica of our actual lab experiment. So when you go to our physical laboratory, you just get this particular hardware on in the form of kits available, and by giving the inputs to the gate with the help of the switch, the toggle switches or the key switches, anything on this on the kit, you just give the input and check the output with the help of the LEDs attached. So in this particular experiment also we have the instruction box. When we click on the instruction button, so all the instructions for this particular experiment will come up, and the first step is to just connect the battery and then click on the power source. So as I clicked on the power source, it will show me the flow of the current to the circuit. So the green one is the high current and the red one is the low current. So for the first input of 1 and 0, the output is 0. So as I provide the first input with the help of switch 2 and switch 3, so these are the basically input of the gate, and we use the NPN transistor, and on the output side we use just the bulb. So for combination of 1 and 1, the output is 1. This is correct. And for the combination of 0 and 1, the again 0. And for the combination of 1 and 0, the output 0 again. And for the combination of 0 and 0, the output is again 0. And for the combination of 1. So basically, this is the basic experiment of the electronics engineering, which comes under the first year experiments of digital electronics. And you just perform this experiment, which is very basic experiment. And as you move to the another experiment from experiment 1 to 12, you get each and every level of the experiment of the digital electronics. So I'll show you one more experiment of the truth table, like XOR gate. So in this again we have 2 simulators available with us. So this is the again same concept available here, that you have to fill the truth table first and just check your knowledge. So for both the similar inputs, the output is again low. Yeah, this is correct. And if I press 1, for this case, show me that you press the incorrect option. So for 0 and 1, the output is 1 and 0. the output is again 1, and for 0 and 0, the output is again 0. So what I mean said that for the XOR gate, when we use the condition for the common inputs, means either the both the high input or the output is again low, and for the first input, for the high and low input or low and high input, the output is again high. So basically this is the truth table, and I fill my truth table correctly. And now we will move to the simulator, and again we have the instruction box available. So just this is basically again the existing kit of our virtual of our physical laboratory of this particular XOR gate, and we use the NPN transistors. So in this particular experiment, we use 6 different NPN transistors as the structure shows you, and we use some of the resistance, and the values of the resistance is listed in below in the right side, bottom right. And first of all, for the first step, you just have to open the power button. As you click on the power button, it shows you that the flow of current on the existing conditions. And for the input of 1 and 0, the output is high and the bulb is low. And for the input of 0 and 1, again the output is high, which was previously seen in the truth table. And then for the combination of both the high inputs, the output is again low, and for the input of 0, the output is again low. So this is the second gate of XOR, which I'm demonstrating you how to use this experiment. So I think you just get the basic idea to perform the experiment. Now let's take another experiment, another example of NAND gate. Say, so again we have the simulator. So basically NAND gate is nothing else the AND gate with a NOT gate. So for the input of 0 and 0, the output is, I think, 1. This is correct. For 1 and 0, the output is again 1. For 0 and 1, the output is again 1. And for 1 and 1, the output is again 0. So basically this is the reverse of AND gate. And again we have the simulator. So this is the simulator, and as I connect the battery, then click on the power button. For 1 and 0 condition, the output is again 1. For 0 and 1 condition, the output is again 1. And for 1 and 1 condition, the output is 0. So basically these are the 3 basic gates of digital electronics. So I'll repeat once again the process. Just go to the www.elab.co.in. This page will open, and from these broad areas you just access any of the experiment from each and every field you want to perform the experiment. So just for an example, just go to the electronics and communication engineering, and then go to the digital electronics, and then list of the experiment, and we have the 12 different experiments available on this particular digital electronics lab. So now we will try to the another experiment, design and verify the 4-bit synchronous and asynchronous counter using the JK flip-flop. Now again the similar process is followed, that we have the aim, then we have theory, then pre-test, procedure, simulation, then post-test, and at the last references. So this is basically the theory of synchronous counter in case of asynchronous and synchronous counter of 4-bit. So this is completely the theory. So what is the difference between the asynchronous and the synchronous counter? Is that in case of the asynchronous counter, we provide the clock pulse to the first flip-flop only, and rest of the clock pulse are operated with the help of the output of the flip-flop. While in the case of synchronous counter, the clock pulses provide once, and each and every clock pulse is connected to the single clock pulse input. And so this is basically the structure of this particular synchronous counter, and this is the timing diagram of this particular counter. Now we will move to the pre-test. So this is the pre-test. Now I'll just at random click each and every input. Click on the submit. So nothing is correct again. So now we have the procedure. So this is the procedure available. So just read out once. When you are the first time user, you just follow the procedure and perform the experiment. And then in this particular experiment, again, we have 2 simulators available with us, the asynchronous and synchronous counter. So let's check the asynchronous counter first. So in this particular experiment, we use the IC 7476 to perform this particular asynchronous counter, asynchronous counter. And as the structure shows that the connections is available, and we use the LED buttons for the output, and you have to use the instruction button for the for performing this particular experiment. Just follow the instruction and perform the experiment. So the first step is that you have to switch on this particular key, and after switching on the key, you have to apply the clock pulse, and as you apply the first clock pulse, the first condition is for 0000. So this is the 0 count, and we have the first count, then the second count, and the output is also available on the LEDs, that is 0100, then 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th. So these are the total 4-bit counting for this particular asynchronous counter. And as you click on the, after taking each and every count, just click on the generate waveform. So the waveform according to this particular truth table is created and available in front of you. So this is basically the asynchronous counter, and it is a similar experiment we performed in our lab. So you can now use any of the counter, or you can design your own counter also with the help of this particular construction. And for future references, you just click on the print button. As you click on the print button, you can take the printout of this particular image and store for your future references. Now we will move to our second experiment of synchronous counter. So this is basically the synchronous counter, and we use this 7476 IC again. This because this is a JK flip-flop IC, and again we have the output on the basis of the LEDs available from Q0 to Q3. And the first step is, again we just press the switch, start the supply, and provide the clock pulse. So for the first clock pulse, the 0 count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So on the 16th pulse, each and every bit is counted because we count the clock pulse from the 1. And after taking each and every output, just click on the generate waveform. Again, the waveform will be again generated on the basis of this particular truth table. And you can also take the printout again and store that for your future references. So basically, this is the second experiment on the digital electronics for synchronous and asynchronous counter. Now again, we have another experiments also available. So we have the 12 different experiments. Let's use one of the another experiment, binary to gray or gray to binary conversion using 9 bit. So like take these examples. So similarly, we have again the same functionality available. Just click on the simulation button, and we have again the two simulators available, the binary to gray and gray to binary converter. So in this particular bit converter, we have this particular structure, and on the basis of the input, we can find out the binary converted code. And we also know that for the conversion of code for binary to gray, what is the procedure is that the MSB bit is common for the next step, and we have to XOR the next two inputs, like B2 is XORed with B3 and B1 is XORed with B2 for G3, and so on. So like I'll give the input one of the, okay, first you have to connect the battery. So I'll give the input for 1111, that is 15. So I'll give the 111 input, and the output is 1000 or the 0001 as we just want to read. And B3 is the MSB and B4 is the LSB. Similarly here G3 is the MSB and G0 is the LSB. So basically for 15 the gray code converter is 8. The gray code is 8, 1000. Now choose another code, any of the another code. So for 0110 the code is 0101. So you can check with the help of your theory and the procedure to perform the conversion. And this is the one of the easy form available in this, and you can also convert from the gray code to the binary. So let's check for the 1 1 0 0 0 0. So for 1000, the binary code is 1111, which we previously provide the input in our binary to Gray converter. So basically, this is the third experiment from the digital electronics engineering. Now we will move to our second lab, and meanwhile, if you have any query, we will discuss that later. But now let's move to our next experiment for the higher educations for the students of third and fourth year. I think in the electronics and communication engineering, we have a subject of digital signal processing also, and we have a well developed and well maintained lab available on this particular portal. And one more thing, that each and every experiment is developed with the help of open source environment like HTML, Java, Python, and any of the open source environment. So you just open these experiments, and you can run these experiments without any dependency of the hardware. But as this project is started from 2009, and from 2009 to 2015, we developed some of the experiments. But at that time, we have the different constraints available, the different softwares available. And at that time, we use some of the paid softwares like Adobe Flash Players, Quest 3D Players for creating the environment, and LabVIEW for creating the uh, calculated environments. And on the basis of those labs, we are just using at that time. But as we come in this particular time period, we just shifted each and every lab to our open source environment, and we are just trying to converting existing labs which are previously developed from paid software to open software, and some of them are already done while some are in the pipeline. And I will show you the demonstration of this kind of lab, how you are able to use the lab which is on the portal previously developed lab. So we are just trying to convert these labs again, and I'll show you the example of that lab also. So we have digital signal processing lab in our biotechnology and biomedical engineering. So this lab is also developed by IIT Roorkee in the medical signal and image processing. And we have the list of experiment. In this, we have a digital signal toolkit. So for your future references, you may note down that also, or you may search biomedical signal and image processing from the search tab. So as I click on the digital signal processing toolkit, so initially we have the theory part. So this is the complete theory of this particular digital signal processing. And normally it covers up the 60 to 70% syllabus of the digital signal processing with the visualization of the output. I show you some of the experiment also. So we have the objective of this particular lab, and in this particular lab we use the general DSP functions, then the transforms, FFT, DCT, Hilbert transform, then filters and convolution, power spectrums, correlations, comparisons, and we have the communication features also there. So I'll show you some of the experiment. So as you go to the experiment and you click on the go to lab on digital signal processing toolkit, download exe downloaded exe file is downloaded to your system, and you have to install that exe into the system. So I'll just click on this particular exe, and it will take me to the installer. So no preview available. You have to click on the download. As you click on the download, a file will start to download. So it shows that the file is going to download, but I have already installed this to my system. But I show you the procedure how to install in your system also. So this is a 157 MB installer, and once it's download, you just have to extract. So once you download it, you just install into your system by clicking on next, 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 and finish. So key next and finish. So I'll already have a copy of this into my system. I'll show you. And once you download this installer and installed into the system, automatically folder name VLab is created on your C drive. Just give me a second. I'll share my screen. So once you download the installer and installed it to your system, and automatically folder name VLab is created in your C drive, the local disk, the C drive, and VLab name folder is automatically created, which contains the application file of the digital signal processing toolkit. Just open this, and the DSP name folder is created for the experiment. Just click on the DSP and run this particular application file. So after running this particular application file, it will take 10 to 15 seconds to open up, and we can use this experiment after 10 to 15 seconds. I'll just wait for some of the few moments, and we will show you the experiment. So this is the installer file, and this is the application file available with us. So you have to click on the work offline option. As you click on the work offline, it takes to you the next window, and it shows you the performance history of your experiment, and click on the perform new experiment. So basically this is the environment available, and you have these functions available. You have these functions available on this particular portal, like general DSP functions, transforms, filters, compression, design DSP, modulation, demodulation, property. So let's take an example with the general statistics, with the statistics, signal statistics. And to perform this experiment, the instructions is came up in the upper part, and this is our CRO. Basically, it shows you the input signal and it shows you the output signal. So for the case of the general statistics, you have the first step is that you have to click on the generate signal, press the generate signal, and import the input waveform. So click on the generate signal, and you have the signals available: the sawtooth, triangular, square, sine, and user defined or formula wave. So let's choose the sine wave, and you can also set the frequency. Let's set the frequency at 10.5. The amplitude you can change. You can change the phase, the sampling frequency, the simulation period, and DC biasing is 10, and you can also add the noise to the particular signal. So these are the noise available, and you have the standard deviations also available, and aliasing or non-aliasing signal. You can do anything on this particular signal and click on the import signal. So this is the basically imported signal to your input, and after that just click on the show statistics. So once you click on the show statistics, it shows you that the different values of this particular experiment. And just after performing any of the function, you have to click on the add to report, which will be what is the function of this add to report is that it just take the screenshot of this particular page and add it to your report. Now we will move to our second function, the power spectrum. So as we all know that the power spectrum shows the frequency contains the signal power by plotting a distribution of power values as a function of frequency. So again, the instructions is available in the upper part. So first you have to click on the generate signal. Then on the basis of this particular signal, the same signal we will import it. And on this basis of this particular signal, what is the power spectrum of this signal? You can calculate on the paper, and after calculating on the paper, you have to draw that particular signal, and it takes too much time. And you just click on the generate spectrum, and it shows you the result. So as we choose the frequency of approximately 20 hertz, it shows the higher peak at 20 hertz, and amplitude of as we have the amplitude of 20, it shows the higher peak. And if we choose the double-sided band, it shows this. If we choose the double-sided band, it gives you the two higher bands on a different place. So basically, this is the power spectrum. You can check this particular with the particular output with the help of your pen and paper by calculating the result with the help of the existing formula. Now let's move to the convolution. So basically this is the convolution. So as we all know that what is the convolution? Basically this is the multiplication of the two signals. So it is a mathematical way to combining two signals to form the third, and it is defined as the integral of the product of two functions after one is reversed and shifted. So again we have the instructions available. So these are the instructions for this particular convolution: autocorrelation, autocorrect correlation, and cross correlation. So for generating the convolution, we have to use the two different signals. So let's generate the first signal. So I'll choose this particular signal and include this particular signal. Now we'll choose the second signal. It may be of another, like choose the square wave, and we'll use the amplitude and the frequency, and click on the import button. And after that, you have to click on the convolution. So basically, this is the convolution of these two signals with the existing uh, features like amplitudes and frequencies. So basically this is the result. So it takes just 3 to 4 seconds to analyze any of the signal, and we have the facilities like you just click on the user defined function if you want to perform any of the user defined signal, or you just want to perform on the formula based signal in the terms of t, you can also do that also. Okay, so now we will move to our next part. Like this is basically for the students of electronics. Now we will move to the experiment of communication. So we have another technique of modulation and demodulation, and we cover up the amplitude modulation and frequency modulation. So basically this is the amplitude modulation, and we have the controls here in our left side, and this is amplitude modulation. You have to choose the signal, the sine wave, the square wave, or triangular, or sawtooth. We have the 4 variabilities available here, and you have to choose if you want to choose the amplitude modulation type, you can choose the double sideband or single sideband, suppressed sideband, any of the signal you can use. So this is the message signal. I have to modulate it, and to modulate this signal I have to multiply this signal with a higher carrier frequency. So basically this is the message signal, and I will manage this particular frequency of the message signal and the amplitude of the message signal, and then the phase of the message signal, and these are the functions for the carrier signal. So as we all know that the carrier signal must be the higher frequency of as compared to the message signal, and we can also change the values. And on the basis of the after amplitude modulation, we have this particular signal, and then we pass this particular signal to the low pass filter, and these are the demodulated signal output. So what is the main thing to check in this particular experiment? So you have to vary the low pass filter frequency, and after varying the frequency, you can check the output. As you vary the frequency, the cutoff frequency, the output of the demodulated signal will also vary. And another, when you change the amplitude of a signal, and you just after changing the amplitude of the signal, you just check the modulation index. So it will increase or decrease by changing the amplitude. So these are the things. You just click on the add to table, and you can also check the theory from here. So this is the particular theory of this particular experiment. And again, if you want to perform the experiment on the basis of frequency basis, so you have all the functions available here on the basis of frequency domain, frequency modulation, and also we have a frequency and time domain also available. So by clicking on this particular button, it will shift to the time domain or to the frequency domain. So just click on the stop and return. So basically, this is the toolkit for the digital signal processing, and I hope that you may understand the process of how you are able to use this particular digital signal processing toolkit. And this kit is developed with the help of the LabVIEW software. And to perform this experiment, there is nothing required at your end. You just download the installer and install into your system, and access this file from your C drive. Just a second. So then you have to attend the questionnaire to complete this particular experiment, and you can also write your conclusion and submit report. And once you calculate or download this particular perform this particular experiment, each and everything will be generated in your report. And you can also print the report, and you may also check the report from your system also. There is another folder named virtual lab is created on your C drive, which contains the complete files and complete report and automatically stored into your system. So basically, this is the experiment of digital signal processing. I hope that you may understand this. You understand this experiment and find helpful for your curriculum and helpful to increase your knowledge. So this is all from the demonstration side. And now, if you have any query, so you may please ask. And after that, we will move to our development session, that how you can develop your own labs and what is the procedure to provide these lab to the nation. So if anyone has any query, just ask, please, regarding any experimentation or how to use the experiment, anything.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Sir, I myself Rishi Nigam, sir. Sir,
Yes, sir.
मैं ये पूछ रहा था सर कि इसमें अभी तक जो लैब्स डेवलप हो गई हैं सर, उसमें सर डिजिटल इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स और माइक्रोवेव की मैक्सिमम लैब हो चुकी हैं, जैसे एनालॉग इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स वगैरह और
जी।
नेटवर्क एनालिसिस हो गया, जैसे हम लोग नेटवर्क। तो ये सर कौन कौन सी लैब अभी तक आईआईटी रुड़की में हुई है सर, जो हमें वर्चुअल लैब में मिल सकती हैं सर?
जो आईआईटी रुड़की ने डिजाइन की है।
जी सर, जी सर।
ओके, सो जैसे इनिशियली मैंने आपको बताया था कि हमारे पास पार्टिसिपेटिंग इंस्टीट्यूट्स की लिस्ट है, तो आप किसी भी पार्टिसिपेटिंग इंस्टीट्यूट्स पे अगर क्लिक करेंगे तो उनका कंट्रीब्यूशन आपको विजिबल हो जाएगा,
मिल जाएगा। ठीक
है सर। ओके सर, किसी भी इंस्टीट्यूट को आप कर सकते हैं।
ओके
like I'll show you the another thing, like if you want to just check the labs developed by IIT Kharagpur, just click on this, and each and every lab from irrespective of discipline, it will appear irrespective of the discipline. You can check these things also.
Okay, sir.
And we are also developing some new labs, and 6 to 7 labs are under pipeline which are going to develop by the IIT Roorkee. And by organizing this workshop, we don't mean that you have to perform the experiment or you have to use the labs of IIT Roorkee only. You have to use each and every lab available on your subject. If there are if suppose you want to just learn about the digital electronics labs, and there are 3 to 4 different labs available on digital electronics, but in each and every lab there are different experiments. Okay, there are nothing repeated in this particular virtual lab. If we have 5 to 6 lab of same topic, but each and every topic is contained as different experiment. This is because we have very large number of universities and curriculums. So in each and every universities we have different experiments. So we just find out these kind of the experiments and develop. And by providing the list of the experiment by containing maximum 13 to 15 or 14 experiments in each and every lab, and then we just deploy the lab to the another new tab by making the new heading. Okay, sir? Okay, sir. Anything else?
Hello, sir. I'm
Yes.
Aurora. I think
Yes,
our students must have enjoyed this session, because when they go to different links, they will find that all these virtual lab experiments, they are very interactive. I have gone through number of experiments, so I found them very interesting.
Thank
Now,
you so much.
Students, any student, if you want to ask the question, you can ask, because all the faculty members from IIT Roorkee who have joined here, they are very much keen to reply your queries. Students, please ask any question if you have.
You may also write your question in the chat box also.
I'd like to add something.
Yeah.
My dear students, if you have any queries to me, you can interact with me.
So welcome, Anand sir. thank you for this interaction to the student, and he is our professor in charge of the virtual lab for IIT Roorkee, and he is also available in this particular session.
Good
So
morning,
you can
Anand
also-
sir.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, sir. आपकी आवाज सुन के बहुत अच्छा लगता है because you are
Thank
always
you.
so
Thank
energetic.
Thank you.
आई थिंक बीच में हम ऐसा करेंगे सर कि आपका जो सेशन हो जाएगा उसके बाद हम लोग जो है इसको गूगल फॉर्म जो आपने दिया है फीडबैक का उसको भेज देंगे बच्चों को, वो अपना
ठीक
भर
है।
के इसको करेंगे। ठीक है
ठीक है,
सर?
बिल्कुल ठीक है, बिल्कुल ठीक है, कोई दिक्कत नहीं।
मैम अभी हमारा डेवलपमेंट का सेशन भी है।
ओके, नहीं अभी तो स्टूडेंट्स मेरे ख्याल में कोई क्वेरी नहीं कर रहे हैं, तो आप
तो
कंटिन्यू कर सकते हैं।
हाँ मैम, डेवलपमेंट में शिफ्ट करते हैं।
जी जी जी।
So thank you so much. So we will move to our next session of our development. So So thank you so much, guys, for this particular session, and I hope that you are just going to use these labs and submit your feedback about the virtual labs. And if you have any query, you may please contact. And one more important thing that we have our YouTube channel also. So if you want to just rewatch this particular session or check another videos of the different experiments, just go to that YouTube channel of Virtual Lab IITR, and we will share the link of that YouTube channel in particular in the chat box also. So you can check that also. So please like, share, and subscribe our YouTube channel. And if you have any query, and if you have any doubts, and if you want to share anything about the virtual lab, you can just do it. Okay. Thank you so much. So over to I'll pass the session to Mr. Rajiv for the activity. So thank you so much, guys. So over to you, Rajiv.
Hello. And today I will discuss about the development program which is run by the team virtual writing. So I just share my PPT. In this session, we will discuss about the development program which is run by the team virtual activity. So they are the various objectives of our virtual development program. So the first objective is that the inclusion of nodal center in development activities, because we send the invitation to our nodal centers and the associated colleges which is part of our the outreach activities also. So we send the invitation for the development program for those colleges. Okay, and second one is the encourage the participants to be the part of the virtual community. So this is our main objective, because we want to include the faculty member as well as the students to be the part of our development program, because we are looking for that those students who having a good programming skills as well as the good grip in the concept of any particular subject, so that if anyone wants to propose their lab, so we will discuss about the step by step our development model. Okay. So, and the last one is the development web enabled quality lab. So because all the lab has been delivered to the nation, so we will keep maintain the quality of our labs. So in this slide, I'll discuss about the development model. So in our development model, we are the various steps. In the first step, we will send the invitation to our nodal centers, or we will invite our nodal center to be the part of this development activities. So when I'll send the email to our development for the nodal center for the development activities, they have to fill their proposal with the following details, like the gap area lab, student team details, and software details. So what is the gap area lab? So in the lab, we will find only those labs which are not available or not developed right now for the on the virtual lab platform. So for only those labs we are accepted which are not available right. So in the student team details, you have to mention the details of the students along with the skills, and in the one team there are there should be the only 5 members, and in the one team they must be 3 members from the computer science engineering department and 2 students from the concerned engineering department. Let's take an example. Suppose that if you want to propose the lab for any electrical engineering department or any mechanical engineering department, so in the team structure, there are the 3 members from the computer science engineering department and the 2 students from the electrical engineering department or the mechanical engineering department. Because we give the weightage of the computer science engineering department because all the labs has been developed on the software platform, and we need the developer which having the great grip in their programming coding. Okay, and after that the software details. So in the development we will only allow for the open source software which are on freely available to open to use for anyone. So and so, subtracting your proposal, you are eligible to development activity. So, and you will start the development part. So, in this development part, we will divide it into various sections. First one, we have to develop the simulator. So, in this simulator, we have divided the simulator development in 2 parts. First one for the front end development, and second one for the back end coding. So, in the front end development, developers or students can develop the front appearance of the experiment. Means suppose that we include the various type of the instrument in our experiment, like voltage, like voltmeter, ammeter, and CRO, and other instruments which are generally used in our experiment. So we have to design all that instrument in the 3D software and other open source software, and they look the appearance of for our experiment page. Okay, in the back end coding, we will generally focus on the methodology of that particular experiment, and in the back end coding, we just connect all the instruments through the code, and we will create the methodology for the working of that particular instrument. Okay. Second point, the content development. So in the content development, we try to develop all the lab manuals. Like when you are going the physical labs to perform the experiment, so firstly you take the lab manual from the lab attendant, and in the lab manual there are the various headings like aim, theory, pre-test, post-test procedure, and precautions. So in the virtual lab, we will also develop the web pages for theory, pre-test, and post-test. Okay, so these theory and pre-test and post-test will help the user to improve your knowledge as well as will improve the understanding of that particular experiment. And third point, the supporting documents. So in the supporting document, we will develop the coding structure as well as the flow chart of our developed simulator, because you are only one at time develop these simulator. Okay, but after the using of the students, after the using from the people, they give the feedback, and we will need to change something about their comments or their feedback. So at that time, you are not available for us. So at that time, those people are working on that on this virtual lab. Yeah, those people we are working with us. So these supporting documents will help them and to update the currently developed the simulator. And after that, the import experiment in the lab template. Once you have to develop all the files like simulator, content development, and supporting development, so IIT Roorkee team will provide you a lab template, and you will deploy all the content in the lab template, and you will perform and you will submit these template through the online medium. So in the submission mode, we are the various steps to the submission. Firstly, you have to upload your simulator in the GitLab, and our team will be in touch with you, and our team will suggest you what about the changes in that. Okay, after the complete changes at our end, you will deploy all the experiment in the lab template and documentation in the lab template, and submit through the VLab development portal. Okay. After the submission of the complete lab, your lab has been reviewed by our teams as well as the virtual lab communities, and we will take the review or comments from our virtual lab community and send it to you back. And if there is some need to changes, we have to do some changes. And after the final updation, your lab will be going forward to the hosting for the central portal. Okay, after the finalize of your lab, and after the hosting of your lab, you will also eligible for the certification. Your nodal coordinator as well as the team members who have to be a part of a development program, they will be certified by the team virtual lab IIT Roorkee. Okay, so these are our various steps. So I just repeat once again. So firstly, you have to send the invitation, and so after that, you will send us the proposal. When once your proposal has been accepted by us, so you can start your development activity, your development of the simulator. So firstly, you have to develop the simulator, and after that, you have to develop the other contents of relevant to the that particular experiment. After the submission of your lab, your lab has going for the review, and after the complete hosting, after the final hosting on the central portal, you will be eligible for the certification. So these are the development model. And in the development activity, we have run the two types of the program. Firstly, we have run the bootcamp, and secondly, we have the internship. Because in the internship, there are the limited number of seats. Only 3 to 4 people are eligible for the internship once a year, because we will run the internship program in the month of June and July. But if those people who are not coming in our internship program, and they are willing to be a part of our development activity, so we will organize the boot camp once a year. Okay, so we will invite the 20 and 30 students in our boot camp for this boot camp running for only 10 days. Okay, and we will develop the online web enabled simulator for the virtual labs. Okay, so if Nodal Center has interested to run the activity in house, so they can also organize the boot camp in your house, and our team will be support for the success running of that boot camp. And the Nodal Center also organize the in-house development activity. So once you have to be a part of a development program, so institutes will be eligible for the various privileges which is provided by the team activity. So firstly, I already told you, certificate will provide to all the team members, faculty members as well as the students, and students are eligible to attend the national level boot camp on behalf of the virtual lab activity. So I already told you the virtual lab committee has organized a national level boot camp once a year. So in this national level boot camp, we will select only those students who are already working with us, yeah, who having a great, yeah, who are having a good grip in the programming languages. So if you are already working with us, so you are eligible for the national level boot camp. After that, the students are eligible to apply the internship. I already told you, if you are working with us, so you are also eligible for the internship. The institute get the support by a team virtual lab for in-house development activities. So I already told you that we have done the two types of the programs. Firstly for the bootcamp, secondly for the internship. Or if any nodal center are willing to run the development program in-house, so our team will support you for the every type of the development activities. Okay, and after that, the institute nominated as a standing nodal center in Abasi newsletter published by the MHRD. So if you are actively participate in the outreach activity as well as the development activity, so team virtual lab will nominate you as a standing nodal center which in the Abasi newsletter which is published by the MHRD. So these are our certification programs. So we are run with basically various types of certification program. So firstly, we will provide the bronze certificate, and the bronze certificate only for those students, those team members who are only working on the single simulator. Means most of the times we see that the on students only working for the single experiment. So if you are helping us to develop the single experiment, so we will provide you the bronze certificate. In the silver certificate categories, if you are develop all the experiment in a single lab, so you are eligible for the silver certificate. Or in the golden certificate, once you have developed the single experiment or you have developed the whole lab, you have developed the all experiment in a single lab. So and after that, you also willing to work with this, and you will also develop the another lab after the previous lab, so that you are also eligible for the golden certificate. So these are the statistics of the virtual lab, because in this table you can see that the developed lab as well as the gap area lab, and these statistics will help you to find out the gap area lab. So as you see that the computer science and engineering department, we have only developed the 24 labs. Means to say the 24 labs are available on the virtual lab central portal for the using of students and the faculty member. But in this discipline, there are the gap around the 28 labs. Means the 28 labs are ready to develop, or the 28 lab are not available on central portal. So you can find any one lab from out of the 28 labs. Okay. Similarly, like that, the other discipline you can see that the statistics. So in the electronics and communication engineering, you can see that we have developed only 19 labs. Okay, and they are the availability of the newly developed lab that is approximately around the 20. So you can note down the statistics of the developed lab as well as the gap area lab. So these statistics will help you to find out the gap area lab in particular disciplines in which you want to propose the lab. So these are the method how to find out the gap area lab. So firstly, you have to visit our central portal, and suppose that let's take an example. Suppose that you wants to propose the lab in the mechanical engineering department. So firstly, you have to go to the central portal and go to mechanical engineering disciplines, and you have to go through the all the mechanical engineering labs. Okay, and if those labs you have to propose are not available our central portal, so you can also eligible to work on for the development activity in that particular lab. So you have also check the check the proposed lab in the development website, and that is available on your screen. Okay, if those labs are not available in the central portal as well as the development portal, and but those labs are available in your university syllabus, so you can also go for that, and you can also submit your proposal for that particular lab. So these are the details of the open source software. So for the development of the simulator of online labs, we have generally used the open source software because these are the free to use and these are very convenient to convert from one platform to the another platform. So these are the list of the software: HTML, JavaScript, Python, Google Web Designer. So and Google Web Designer. So these are the open source software which help us to develop the online labs. So we are only looking for those people who are having a great grip, a good grip, good programming skill in these languages. So these are the slides for the various FAQs which is generally asked by the students, the team members. So in a semester, you have proposed only 3 labs. Okay, so in a semester, you have only one college. You have to propose only 3 labs in a one semester. And how many students should be in a one team? So I already told you the 5 members in a one team, in which 3 members must be from the computer science and 2 members must be from that particular discipline in which you will propose the lab. Okay, the deadline to submit the lab. So after the proposal and the proposal of a lab, your proposal has been going through our virtual lab team. If once your proposal has been finalized, and you will start the working on that proposal. So at the time of the acceptance of the proposal, you just take only 3 months to submit your lab. And how much time will take to upload the final labs on the central portal? It's just around 1 month after the review and the final update. So these are some glimpse which is of a boot camp. The boot camp has been organized by the IIT in the year of 2019. So in this boot camp, we just call the students from the various colleges, and we will develop the electrical machines lab. And I think in the outreach activities session, we just see that the electrical machine experiment. So this experiment has been developed by the team IIT Roorkee with the help of the students from the various colleges. Okay, after the completing the bootcamp, we will provide a certificate for all team members, and these team members after the bootcamp also work with us, and they also submit the many labs to us. Okay, so once you have to attend the bootcamp, and if you are willing to work with us, you have our team will support you to develop the more labs and more content for the virtual lab. So these are our contact details. Okay, if you have any query, if you want to if you want to asking something about the development program, so you can contact the team members, as well as you can write us on the email of virtuallab-@itr.ac.in. So this is from my side. If you have any query, so you can ask me. Hello, anyone having any query?
हेलो
Yes.
हाँ सर, मैं ये पूछा था, जो ये बच्चों को डेवलप करने वाला बताया था आपने कि बच्चे 3 दिन में 3 महीने में ये करेंगे, डेवलप करने के लिए अगर कोई चाहता है बच्चा, तो
Okay.
तो जैसे आपने लिखा था 3 मंथ फॉर दिस, 2 मंथ फॉर दिस, तो ये एक परफेक्ट टाइमलाइन है कि सब आगे पीछे भी हो सकता है, जैसे कोई थोड़ी देर टाइम लग रहा
I mean, but we will try to develop the lab in the given span of time. If okay, अगर आपको थोड़ा ज़्यादा टाइम लगता है तो not don't worry, but we will extend only 10 and 15 days more, not more than one month or 2 months.
ओके सर, ओके सर, ओके।
Okay.
Hello.
Hello, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I think this information will be very useful for our students and those who are interested in using them as well as development, because they can take them as project. We have TQ project at our place also,
Okay.
and if they want to develop any lab and any hardware also they have to buy, they can put a proposal here and they can develop it here itself with the help of your team.
Okay.
That
Okay. No
information
problem. But
is very helpful for them.
okay. But ma'am, I think we can't buy any hardware for that because we have working on the softwares. So I think for
No,
the development of the
basically,
online.
that's what I'm saying. We have a here TQ project which is going on till March. Yes.
Okay.
So if they have any proposal, they can ask for the budget from TQ also. That provision can be made if they want.
Okay, okay, no problem, ma'am. Once you submit your proposal, and we will discuss with Dr. R.S. Anand. Okay, and
Yes.
we will schedule a meeting for that. No problem.
Right. Right. Right.
Okay, firstly, you will propose your lab.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Sure. So Rishi Nigam is the local coordinator from electronics branch, and he is basically he will coordinate all the activities through head of the department. So if any student is interested, then the faculty of that particular area will also be keen to participate in that to help the students. So I think that information is very useful for the students. Thank you so much for sharing all these information. Student, if
Madam Arora, yes,
yes, sir, yes, sir.
yes. I am listening everything, and Rishi Nigam will be uh, coordinating from electronics and communication engineering,
Yes, yes.
and please guide him. Uh, I wish that this facility should be utilized to the fullest level by
Yes, sir.
our students, and we shall do everything possible to get this done in our department.
So, sir, Anand sir, I think you know Dr. Sanjay Mathur. He is head of the Department of Electronics Engineering.
Okay, let
Basically,
me show my face as well. I mean, so
Sir, your voice is not audible. Please unmute your mic.
no, I was not speaking anything so far, but I think now it should be visible as well as audible.
Yes, 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 sir.
Uh,
Hello, Anand sir, are you there?
Yes, do you want to say something?
Dr. Sanjay Mathur is not contacted.
Please.
He's there on the stage, sir. Dr. Sanjay Mathur.
बताइए, please.
Sir, please.
ये डॉक्टर आनंद बोल रहे हैं उधर से आईटी से.
हाँ, प्रोफेसर माथुर बताइए.
हाँ डॉक्टर साहब, मैं ये कह रहा था कि इस फैसिलिटी को इसको हम लोगों ने कोविड में बहुत अच्छी तरह समझ लिया है कि अब इसके बिना काम चलना नहीं है, तो इसको बिल्कुल अच्छे तरीके से करना है, अब इसको आगे बढ़ाना है. और
मुझे आप लोगों का बिल्कुल कोऑपरेशन चाहिए इसमें.
हाँ, नहीं कोऑपरेशन सर बिल्कुल, और इसको एक एज ए मिशन मोड हम लोग मेरे ख्याल से करें, और इसका बिल्कुल एक रोड मैप बना के अगले 6 महीने के हिसाब से, जिसमें टाइम लाइन फिक्स हो, जिसमें कि हमारी ऑब्लिगेशंस, आपके ऑब्लिगेशंस क्लियरली दोनों को क्लियर हो, और इसमें जो भी फाइनेंसेस की रिक्वायरमेंट है दैट वी शैल टॉक टू आवर डीन, and we shall be, I mean, we are committed to implement it.
बिल्कुल, थैंक यू लॉट.
क्योंकि सर मैं इसका एक भोगी और हूँ कि मेरा एक पीएचडी स्टूडेंट था, वो कोविड से पहले वहाँ आईआईटी में जाके अपना एक थोड़ा बहुत काम करके आता था, लेकिन बाद में फिर उसको बड़ी समस्या हुई रिमोट लॉगिन के थ्रू कर आके. बट इफ वी हैव एमओयू काइंड ऑफ थिंग, and if we have a common resource to be shared among number of institutions, so that will save the money as well. And moreover, the interaction and collaboration will increase in between the institutions. So I see beyond simply providing a facility to the students only. I mean, it is just like not just like providing something in distress or something in which is not possible, and because of any compulsion we are doing it. But we shall do it, and it has many other byproducts of cooperation as well.
Yes, yes, you are perfectly right.
So I wish that this will be taken ahead.
I'd like to say one thing.
Yes, sir.
That what are the modalities for the MOU kind of, you can say, interaction
Yes.
at your level?
Yes.
Please
Yes.
find out the modalities, and
Okay.
I'll also, you can say, find out what are the basically options and procedures from the IIT Roorkee.
Yes.
So you can
Sure.
sign a MOU, that is possible.
Yes, sure. I think Dr. Sudha Arora will be coordinating at the college level.
Yeah, yeah.
And all other head of the departments, I think, must come up and they must show their interest, and we must utilize it to the fullest level.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes, sir. Whatever points they come for the MOU, we will discuss with our dean as well as with our head of the institutes, head of the departments. So I think all the issues will be sorted out there itself.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Nice talking to you.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
So I'm now muting my from my side, and Mr. Dhiman, I think, was talking something. He was taking some session.
Yes, sir. Yes. Thank you, sir.
So anybody who is taking the session, please go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So, if you guys have any query, you just please ask, and after that we will end this session. And if you want to just ask anything, just please. Anyone, please. So, I think there is no more query. So I'll hand over this session to Sudha Arora ma'am for continuation. And so over to you, ma'am.
Yeah, I think students right now they must be thinking कि किस तरीके से इसको use करना है, and once they have gone through the experiments, they will be able to understand and they will be able to ask the questions. So, but students, if you have any query, you can ask without any hesitation. And IIT Roorkee people, they are very helpful. They will be always in a position to support you, to guide you in near future also. तो अगर किसी को कुछ भी पूछना है बिना किसी हेजिटेशन के, you can ask. I think Rishi Nigam wants to ask something.
Hello, any student? Hello? If any student want to ask any question, he can ask. He or she can ask from the sir. Any doubt? Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
Okay, okay.
So okay, we will give the students some time, and they will point out some of the things they want to ask, and after that, in the coming sessions, they can also join and ask.
Yes. So I think from your side you can continue. Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Chetan ji, because I think Dr. Anand will have to take over. So I think you can continue because students are not asking any question.
Okay, ma'am. So there is a question from Disha Pant. If anyone wants to develop the lab, please could you explain the procedure again? So for this query, I'll pass the mic to Mr. Jasveer Singh. So please just check this query and answer.
Okay, Disha, are you there? Hello. Hello, Disha, are you there? Am I audible, sir? Okay, so what do you want to ask? Means you want to ask the procedure means how to develop the labs or how you can contribute to these labs? You can unmute your mic, you can ask. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, actually, I have been into web development and the front end development. So,
Okay.
I have been on a very beginning part, not the very advanced level. But I wanted to know, like, if I want to design the lab or design the lab, so how should I go about it? I mean, should I take help from some internet, or there is someone from your side to guide us?
Uh,
Like,
okay, Disha. So for your query, I just want to ask you in which area you are presently working, on which lab you are presently working, or you are
sir,
doing some.
I'm not doing anything regarding the lab. I'm just
Okay.
I'm just
So
into website development. Yeah.
okay. Basically, the procedure is like that. We will your college will propose a lab. Like a lab is there in your institute. You are using that lab, and that particular lab is not on virtual lab. Okay. So we'll
Yes.
give you the procedure, how to follow the steps and how to work those labs. We'll give you some tasks. Based on those tasks, you can easily work those labs, and with that you can see how the front end and back end coding will. Okay, so first of all, you have to make a group, like you have to make a team, and you have to propose this. Hello,
Yes.
Disha, am I clear to you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so if you have any query, you have the contact numbers, right? Sir,
Hello.
Chetan sir, will you please show the slide?
Hello.
The coding.
Actually,
One second.
Jasmeer ji.
जी मैम
Hello.
बताइए.
I think Disha's question was what I can guess from the point she was raising is what platform she will be using for developing the lab class.
Ma'am,
Because
as in slides, we already told that you have to use open source software. You can use any open source software. Like
so
simply
Python,
HTML,
Java.
Java, you can use any open source software for development of labs.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And the hardware part will not be required for that.
No, ma'am. We are doing on simulation labs only. The hardware part is not involved, but you will make a simulation like your hardware will look like. We'll see the lab, okay, and we'll draw the lab. We'll do the simulation part according to your lab, according to your experiment, how your experiment will play.
Okay. Disha, I think your query is sorted out.
And Disha, are you there?
Yes,
These are the
ma'am.
contact numbers like Rajiv Kumar number, Jasbir Singh my name, and Priyanshi Agarwal. You can directly ask if you have any query, or you can directly mail us on your email ID virtual-lab@iitr.ac.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So if anyone have any query, I would like to answer. Chetan sir, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Jaspreet sir. Thank you. So, I'll for this particular session, I'll pass the mic to our Professor Dr. R.S. Anand, and he is going to share some of the views and some of the information on the virtual labs. So, over to you, sir. So, if you want to share something and just give the notes to the students, please.
Hey, my dear students, hope you have enjoyed whatever my team has told you. So as you see that there is a possibility of doing the experiments even anytime you want to do. So we are here. We, along with the other 10 participating institutes, are providing you the facility for this purpose. So any time, if you want to basically do the experiment, you can do it. If you have any kind of problems, you can communicate to us through mail, or even there is a number. You can call us, any of us, and accordingly, you can get your problem sorted. So regarding this, obviously, as my team has told you, that there are two activities we are continuing. One is the outreach activity, in that we are conducting the workshop for telling you or demonstrating you how the experiments can be performed. Basically, there is no possibility of, you can say, demonstrating all the experiments, but few experiments are demonstrated, but similar are the procedures for other experiments. But still, suppose you have any problem in any of the experiments, you can contact us. There should not be any hitch regarding that. And obviously, the other activity is development process. And during the development process, you may be involved to develop the experiments. Obviously, it is basically simulation based. We try to develop the simulation based experiments look like real. So whatever they can say possibilities are there, we try to do it. Only constant with us is that we are not using the commercial softwares which provide, you can say, more facilities or more, you can say, flexibilities, but because the commercial softwares, they need the payment, and we cannot arrange for the payment because individual institutions cannot pay for that. So whatever you can say algorithms are developed, they are developed in the open software. So accordingly, you can say, but our team is basically, well, you can say, involved in that process, and it is helping you to how you can develop the experiments using the open source. So with this background, I'd like to interact with you. If you have any kind of queries, please ask. Any of you, if you are interested, please ask. If you have any queries.
Yes.
सर मैं डॉक्टर सुधा अरोरा।
हाँ मैडम बताइए।
सर ये जो जैसे इनकी वर्कशॉप्स वगैरह जो होती हैं, एक तो
हाँ, हाँ।
ऑनलाइन मोड में होंगी, दूसरा जो ये इनके कॉम्पिटिशन्स वगैरह हैं, जिसमें आपने कहा था कि आईआईटी रुड़की में ये लोग आके अटेंड करते हैं और डेवलप करते हैं,
हाँ, हाँ।
तो उसमें सर क्या फैकल्टी भी हर एक ग्रुप के साथ इन्वॉल्व होती है या स्टूडेंट्स की अकेले टीम होती है वो?
नहीं फैकल्टी से, आपके यहाँ से कोऑर्डिनेटर जो है, अगर वो साथ में आना चाहे तो आ सकते हैं, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है।
वो तो वहां पर सपोर्ट के लिए होंगे, बट जो टीम, जैसे अगर मान लीजिए कोई इनको लैब डेवलप करना है, तो
हाँ,
दैट
हाँ।
टीम विल बी इंक्लूडिंग ओनली स्टूडेंट्स और द फैकल्टी विल आल्सो बी अ पार्ट ऑफ दैट?
नहीं, उसमें हमारे यहाँ की फैकल्टी तो इन्वॉल्व नहीं होती है, लेकिन फैकल्टी आपके यहाँ की, जैसे मान ले बच्चों को ये समझाना है कि थियोरेटिकल बैकग्राउंड देना है, सपोज सम ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स आर नॉट हैविंग द थियोरेटिकल बैकग्राउंड, तो आपके यहाँ से जो टीम डेवलप कर रही है, अगर उसमें के आपके यहाँ से कोई आके अगर थियोरेटिकल बैकग्राउंड देना चाहता है, तो दे कैन बिगिन। बोर्डिंग लॉजिंग का उनका अरेंजमेंट जो है वो हम यहाँ पे करेंगे, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं उसके लिए।
राइट। क्योंकि अभी जो है स्टूडेंट्स जैसे मान लीजिए सेकेंड ईयर के हैं, तो उनको सारी चीजों की जानकारी नहीं होती है, तो
बिल्कुल सही कह रही हैं
उसमें
आप।
क्या सपोर्ट जरूरत रहेगा उनको?
उसमें जैसे कुछ सब्जेक्ट ऐसे हैं जिसमें हम लोगों को, जैसे वी आर वेल अवेयर, वो हम उसको थियोरेटिकल बैकग्राउंड बच्चों को देते हैं। हमारी टीम में के भी बच्चे चूंकि एक्सपीरियंस हैं, दे आर ऑल एमटेक्स, सो वो भी काफी हद तक जो है वो सपोर्ट कर देते हैं थियोरेटिकल बैकग्राउंड। लेकिन मान लीजिए कुछ ऐसे सब्जेक्ट हैं जिनके बारे में मैं अवेयर हूँ, देन फॉर दैट आई यूजुअली गिव दी कैन से थियोरेटिकल बैकग्राउंड। बट सपोज मान लीजिए ये दोनों नहीं है, तो अगर आपके यहाँ से जो बच्चे इन्वॉल्व हैं, अगर कोई फैकल्टी चाहती है कि थियोरेटिकल बैकग्राउंड देना चाहते हैं, वो हमारे यहाँ आ सकते हैं। वी विल बी, वो हमारे यहाँ आके जो है बच्चों को बता सकते हैं, और साथ में जो है उनके बोर्डिंग लॉजिंग का अरेंजमेंट हो हम करेंगे यहाँ पे, उसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है।
ठीक सर, ठीक है। आई थिंक आई डोंट हैव एनी अदर क्वेरी।
हेलो मैम, और इसके रिगार्डिंग एक और चीज है कि हमने जो टीम स्ट्रक्चर रखा है वो इसी हिसाब से रखा है कि हर एक टीम में लाइक आपके 5 मेंबर रहेंगे, 5 में से 2 लोग कंप्यूटर साइंस से रहेंगे जो आपका कोडिंग वगैरह का काम, और जो 3 लोग रहेंगे वो पर्टिकुलर जो ब्रांच रहेगी आपकी, सपोज आप इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियरिंग में कोई लैब बनाना चाहते हैं तो वो इलेक्ट्रिकल बैकग्राउंड से रहेंगे, और आप उनके साथ जो फैकल्टी रहेगी वो हमारे साथ कोऑर्डिनेशन के लिए और उनका पूरा ओवरव्यू लेने के लिए, ताकि वो स्टूडेंट सही से काम करते हैं।
तो इसमें मान लीजिए कि अगर इलेक्ट्रिकल के स्टूडेंट हैं और वो कोडिंग भी जानते हैं, तो क्या मस्ट है कि कंप्यूटर के?
नहीं मैम, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। अगर वो लोग कोडिंग में वो लोग ठीक हैं तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। हम वो टीम से इसलिए बनाया था कि कंप्यूटर साइंस के स्टूडेंट्स का थोड़ा सा जो होता है ओपन सोर्स सॉफ्टवेयर में थोड़ा सा वो लोग सही रहते हैं, बट अगर वो लोग इलेक्ट्रिकल से हैं एंड दे नो कोडिंग एंड ऑल, दैट इज फाइन।
ओके,
यस।
Yes, sir. I think no question, no further question is there. You can continue if you have.
So, okay, thank you, ma'am. So this is all from our side also, and we will end up this session. And thank you so much for this particular involvement to the particular virtual labs. And I hope that the students may benefit it with the help of these virtual labs and use in their curriculum, and also for increasing their knowledge, and just try hit some of the new experiments and some of the new things to enhance their learning. Thank you. So
Thank
we
you,
will end
Chetan
this.
ji.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Chetan ji, and thank you, Anand sir. Only one thing
Thanks,
I
sir.
want.
Thanks a lot.
I want to say that Rishi Nigam, who is coordinating, local coordinator of this session, he has sent this Google form for the feedback to all the students.
Okay,
So
no
now
problem.
all the students are now requested to fill that, and basically they are, it is mandatory part, and they have to submit by within 10-15 minutes. That will be okay, I think, Chetan ji?
Yes, ma'am, please. Yes, ma'am. You may also paste that link into the chat box also in the WebEx meet.
हाँ, that will be helpful. आपने वो किया ही है शायद, नहीं उसमें अभी
नहीं
नहीं
ma'am,
है.
अभी नहीं.
हाँ, उसको आप कर दीजिए, तो चैट बॉक्स से वो लोग देख लेंगे. ओके, थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू वंस अगेन.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. So,
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
close the. So, we will just end this session, and best of luck, guys. Thank you so much.
चेतन, आपका नेक्स्ट सेशन 2 बजे से है?
यस सर,
Yes, sir. Sir, 2 बजे से.
ठीक है. और कुछ सिविल इंजीनियरिंग ब्रांच के लिए?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
ठीक है. ओके.
Okay.
So Chetan ji, we'll meet at 2 o'clock. Okay.
Yeah, ma'am. Sure, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.